Hello, this is U.S. Customs. Who am I speaking with?
Well, you're
Hello,
calling me and
hello.
you don't know my name.
That's the one. And then the other one I get on the phone. The text messages I get on the phone like, um, hello, uh, hello, Andrea. When are we going to meet at the coffee shop? And I'm like, what? First of all, I'm not Andrea. How did you get this number? Which
Oh,
coffee shop? I don't hang out with coffee shops
I
with just
thought there
anybody.
was this
But,
special
but
one who got
today we're
those
going to be talking about
messages.
scammers. No, sorry,
You're
it's
so,
not just you. All the
oh,
scams, all the text, yeah, and why TikTok is actually bad for you, ladies and gentlemen, and why you should definitely you should be going along with what the Supreme Court says. I know you're all upset and angry about it, but this is not what should be something that you're. And then the worst part is now I see them going to an even more Chinese owned. It's called Red Note, and they're just going after that. Like everybody's joining. I was like, wait. I don't think you can monetize it. It's definitely telling you can't talk about politics, so it is restricting your free speech right off the bat. And the third thing is, it's definitely owned. It's called Red Note. It's definitely owned by a Chinese. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's Love, Death, and Taxes. Welcome to another show. Today we're going to be talking about TikTok, tax time, and your online trouble that is real, uh, and your data being the new gold mine. Agnes, how you doing? How was your week?
so far so good. I was under the weather a bit, but bouncing back. But I have to tell you that I was telling my husband this week. I had those a few phone calls actually this week alone. Um, the latest one
Right.
today. Uh, hello, hello, dear. Not my name, just hello, dear. This is
Hello, dear.
dear. Yes, I'm very dear to them. Um, uh, uh, this is Hank from Voice Activation Department, and your company has been
Yes.
selected. I don't know for what because I keep
Yeah.
hanging up on the kind of phone calls because. But Voice Activation Department. What kind of department is that?
Yeah.
It's
Okay. So I know exactly what that is. When you are using your Alexa or your Siri, those are the two most popular ones. Those are the two that definitely made it to the top. Your business can be put on Apple. I'm not quite sure how to help you with that. See, I opened my mouth and now, did you
yeah,
hear her talking
yeah,
like me?
yeah, yeah.
I'm not talking to you. But in order to get the same way we have our show on those devices, and you can actually, ladies and gentlemen, if you actually ask your smart device to play Love, Death, and Taxes, it will do that for you. In the very same way, you can get your business listed on your smart device, on Siri or on Alexa. And if you really wanted to say to it, hey, where is my business? Or you can set it up so that all your services are on there, or someone can ask you. Like I have a few clients, including you, who, when I speak to it and ask it about the business, it knows. It will not know unless you have registered yourself and put you on it. But the truth is, this is free. You don't have to pay for it. But they want to charge you at least $150, I think, a year. That's the low level. But sometimes they'll ask you $20, $30, $40 a month. And
Well,
it is ridiculous. They don't need it. Local businesses, if you want this, talk to me about citations, and I can do it for considerably less than that. And it's not an ongoing price; it's one-time registration, and get it over and done with.
well, we do not use any devices such as you mentioned before at home.
Okay, so
We have
that's how you.
we live in a small quarters enough that if I yell to my husband or he yelled my name, we hear each other. We can find each other. So there is no need, for those kind of devices.
for you to be.
No,
No,
no.
no. Yeah, if you're see, they're shooting in the dark, and that's what
Yes.
most of the time these these scams are. They're shooting in the dark. You're like, how did they get my number? Or what? There are an infinite number of numbers, and they're sending out text messages to an infinite number of numbers at a time. And if you answer, now they have you because they know
Yeah.
that it's a live number, and now they're engaging with you. And now, uh, I'm Liam Neeson, and I have a particular set of skills. And Agnes, I like you a lot. Can you send me some money in Australia? I don't have any Australian money, but United States money will actually work in Australia. And I need to get on a helicopter to go from Sydney to the outback, but I don't have any Australian or United States dollars. I only have pounds. If you send me 150 US, I will send you 125 pounds, which is the equivalent.
Yeah.
And that is what is happening because if you
Did,
answer,
did you see that story? Like, to respond to those text messages, like we're getting, my husband and I, we're getting them almost daily. Like,
yeah,
hi, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to disturb you, but I'm just looking for some human contact. Uh, Wrong number. I mean, like we don't this. We just delete them. We don't respond because no one has time to play with this. But did you see that story?
right.
I mean, like, I feel sorry for this lady and how lonely you have to be to fall for that. That Brad Pitt, sent this to this lady. Like, I look, any woman can feel either that she is inadequate in some ways. We all have little things that we don't feel secure about,
Right,
or we can
right.
think of ourselves as we are all that. But come
Right.
on, Brad Pitt's going to pick just anybody's name. And there was another on one show. There was another that this guy that he oh my goodness, I should know his name. um that he pretends to be the big mama. He's got the whole studio. He's a wonder.
Oh, oh,
Tyler Perry.
oh, Tyler
Tyler
Perry.
Perry. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah, that was a couple years ago. There was one woman sending someone lots of money because, yeah, he's gonna be with her. He's gonna leave his wife and just be with her. It's like,
Sure.
come on. I know we all want to be Cinderellas and but, like, come on.
Is Tyler Perry? Oh, oh my gosh, I don't want to say something crazy on YouTube and get banned, but I thought Tyler Perry was like not necessarily playing for that team. I thought he might. The rumors are
No, no, he's got a
he has a
child
wife.
and his beautiful lady with
Well, the
him.
child doesn't mean anything. I have a friend who I went to high school with
True.
who is a gay guy who definitely went off and had kids. Went to was it, I think it's Bolivia. It's a Central American country.
Yeah.
He went down there, found a young woman, and she it was his surrogate. And he didn't.
From what I know of him, I don't
Yeah,
know him, but what I know of
right,
him,
right,
he
right.
is he is he's a wonderful guy who helps a lot of people. and
Yes,
um
yes. All of
and,
that
and
is very,
he's
very
very very active in promoting a lot of subject that people don't want to talk about, or
right.
he's promoting a lot of different people. And I know that one lady bought a billboard saying, Tyler, hire me. And actually, he did hire her. He said, Please don't do that," because he's not going to do that ever
For
for
everybody.
anybody
Right,
else. Yes,
right.
but, like, but he did hire her. I mean, like, it's to do that, you have to have a very soft and understanding heart.
Yeah.
And he helped, from what I'm hearing, helped a lot of people with different
A
disasters.
lot of
So,
people. A lot, not just
yeah.
disasters. There are a lot of minorities and women who are in the business, in the show business, who
Yeah.
got in before him, who got in way before him. Some of them have been doing it since they're a child. Some of them have been doing it for a very, very, very long time. And they say if it wasn't for him and sometimes his intervention, he goes out of his way to make it so that they get parity, like they get the right money that they're supposed to get paid, and that they get a fair shake at some of the jobs that are. So, Tyler, I'm not saying anything negative because I'm just telling you.
No, he had
This is what you
very
hear online.
yeah,
Yeah,
he had very humble start, humble
right.
beginnings, and
So,
he's just a
so
wonderful guy from what I know
yeah,
of him. I don't know the
right,
guy, but
right. We don't
you know,
know exactly, but that's
I
why
don't know
people,
him. I don't know
right,
him
would
yet.
believe it.
I don't know him yet.
You're right. Yes, that's right.
I don't know him yet, but
It's so funny. We're going to some. We're at some show. It's 5 years in the future, and at the we're at the premiere for Agnes's movie that's come
yes,
from her book, and Tyler Perry walks in and he's like, "Huh? Aren't you the guy who was saying that I was playing for the other team?" And I'm in
and
all
I'm the one
kinds
who cleared it up, and I'm the one who cleared it up.
of. So you will never be in business again. No show business for you, Mr. Williams.
No, but getting back on subject again. This is
We have too much fun here. But yes, all
yeah.
right. So that's what's happening. I mean, the TikTok thing that came down today, and that's why we're talking about this, ladies and gents. The TikTok thing that came down today, the Supreme Court upholding the decision from the Senate that basically ran a bill. They ran a bill that created a law that is banning TikTok from your phone, and from the data, the people who run the data and collect the data. They receive a $5,000 a day fine if they actually produce or upload any data for TikTok. So it is quite possible that in a couple of days, when it's supposed to go kaplunked, that when you open that app, see, I thought it just wasn't going to be in the App Store, but it's quite possible that when you open the app will say something like, this app is not available in your region. And so no new stuff or whatever. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a creator on that thing, I feel bad for you. I know you're crying. You're like, but honestly, YouTube also has a platform that does this. Instagram also, and I know why people left Instagram, because they're like, oh, it's connected to Facebook and they don't like Meta and whatever. There's a whole thing. But YouTube has been there forever, and YouTube I know it's more perpetual. It's not all that fast money, real fast, but you put it on YouTube and it will be there forever and ever and ever. And eventually you'll get to the point where it's the same stuff. I get it. I understand. It's a much larger platform, so some of the smaller creators won't be seen as quickly. And TikTok is like that. AI is like that. Technology is like that. Like, you have to be an early adopter to really get out there and get it. But
Hold on. Let me ask you this question.
ask me all the questions.
Yes, please, because for someone like me who doesn't, it's not so savvy with everything.
Right.
What were they, and what anyone can collect data like from those TikTok videos, which usually it's like, oh, look what I can do. I can do this, I can do that, like I can dance like this, and I can jump like that. So like from that to some I don't know, challenge videos, which will be okay.
Yeah.
Someone pours the
Yes.
water on the top of somebody else's head.
Yes.
And
I remember that was actually productive, right?
that
Yes.
was okay.
And there's a lot of other things on there that are productive as well. Like, I see exterminator videos and they're showing you stuff. I see nature things on there. They're showing you that. I see business people explaining business techniques. I see people talking about finance and money and whatever. But guess what? All of that can go on YouTube. All of it can go on YouTube. It's just that you turned your phone, you turned your phone this way instead of this way. That's all you could do. Turn the phone. And the thing is, now YouTube actually has a version that does that instead. So you don't have to get the other. But I see what you're saying. Like, yes, why would you choose something knowing, especially knowing now, what we know now, once you put it on your phone, it can go and look at all of the things that you're doing on your phone and pull data from there. You don't know if it's, every time you open up something and put in your social security number or your banking information, right? It is very pervasive. And that's what the Senate hearing found. Okay. And that's why they're saying that it should not be on your phone and you should not be using it. But if you think about social media in general, you see these people trying to be your friend and you're like, who is that? Who's that person trying to be my friend? Why are they trying to be my friend? Guess what? They become your friend, and now they can see your date of birth. Now they can see your face. They can download pictures of you. They can recreate who you are in another profile and then send out a message to your friends to say, hey, I lost my other account. This is me. Can you please be friends with me? And the next thing you know, they've taken over everything that you have, everything that you own, and then you're locked out of your own account because they either report you they report you to Facebook and Instagram and say, that guy's impersonating me. They shut down your page. You don't know why. It's because now they have become you. And now they'll ask. And I have to tell you, early on in Facebook, this actually happened to me. A friend I went to high school with, right? And I've known since I was maybe 14, 15, younger, 13, because I started school early. 13, wrote to me and said to me, hey, I'm going through this tough time with and he knew all this stuff about the guy's father. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was him. And he asked me for $200. And I was like, man, I've known you forever for sure. And zoop, sent it right over. And he was all promising that he was going to give it back to me and blah, blah, blah. A month, a year, 2 years, 3 years go by. It's a good thing I'm not the kind of person who's like, oh, I need to have my money back if I loaned you something. But like 2 years, 3 years go by, I see him on Facebook and I'm like, hey, how you doing? How's your dad doing? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, that kind of passed and we managed it. And so, well, remember that thing that you borrowed from me? And he's like, what? What are you talking about? Totally wasn't me. I totally got scammed out of it. And what's crazy is when I went looking for the conversation and all of that, it clearly was not him, but it was a different thing that looked like him. And if he got me, he probably got a bunch of other people too. But that was the first and only time I got directly scammed. And so that's a scary thing. What about tax info? See, and ladies and gents, what I'm trying to tell you is you're putting your children's face. There's a whole movement against that now too. You're putting your kids' faces, you're putting your boyfriend's face, your girlfriend's face. And I know when you switch and get a different boyfriend or girlfriend, a different husband, a different wife, now you got to go through and delete all those pictures of them. You're putting all these photos up of these people, right? And you are removing that, you're making them more visible online, and it's a possibility that they could get their stuff taken. I need you to be more careful, just a little bit more careful. I mean, if you every 3 months put up a picture of your baby, guess what? The algorithm and whatever system they're using, the AI that they're using, can now extrapolate what that child would look like for the next 30, 40, 50, for their entire life. For
Yeah.
their, because it sees the bone structure in your face and it knows who you are. And now it can do a lot of stuff with that information. So that information, your birth date, your social security number, if you possibly can, try to do all of this information and present all this information in an incognito window on a laptop, not necessarily your phone, man, because all the apps on your phone,
Yeah.
it's quite possible that they're seeing everything that you do. Man, tell me about tax scams, Agnes, because we've talked about this in brief, and if you go to the channel, guys, you'll see Agnes explaining certain tax scams and whatever not. But now is the time, because guess what? Everybody is doing their taxes. They're trying to get their returns. What are the tax scams, the worst, or what are the signs that maybe you're getting scammed that you should notice?
Well, the most important, are you going to be IRS agent now? IRS does not call and ask you for money. That's just, there was several people, and I have to tell you that very powerful people, when IRS actually calls, or not calls, but they visit their place of business, they panic. Very powerful people, they panic, they lose their heads, and they will just give it away, the firstborn, the secondborn, and whatever they have, just not to be visited by them again. I had a client who actually used the back door on several occasions when the agent came to visit. So, but beside that, so we have to remember, they never call and ask you for money to pay your outstanding taxes. They don't do that. They will initiate phone call, not the phone call, they initiate contact by mail. And when you have an assigned agent that they will send you all the informations about, then you can discuss it, but you can call them. That's different. That's completely different. But they will never ask you to pay your overdue taxes over the phone. And yes, there was several times people called and, okay, you own that much money, but you know what? I'm going to do you a favor. If you pay $4,000 now, I'll forget about another two and whatever. A lot of information is public record. When you own taxes, especially business taxes, it's everything public record. So, and they were, okay, I need to verify the information. So what's your social and whatever. The last four social is obtainable everywhere. So it's a lot of times in people will help them. It's like, okay, IRS call. So yes, this is they have already the last four. So I give them, the everything else and date of birth and everything else. And it's like there's a lot of programs, like we talked about dating. There's a lot of programs of $29.95. You can get all the information about the people. There are programs where you can just pay a little bit and find out even social number. There are programs where you can find everything and anything. Put in an address and find. From there, you can actually get a copy of a deed.
And you're talking about legitimate ways that they got your stuff.
Yes.
But you could also literally be on the dark web. I'm on the dark web. And hello, I'm calling from the IRS. Who is this? Can you verify your EIN number? That's the greatest thing. Like, they get you to tell them, hey, can you tell me what your stuff is? So you're telling them all your information. I want to verify. Is your name spelled RYAN? Yes, that's my name.
Yeah.
So now you told them all the information because you're scared. Yeah, I understand. You're scared. You don't want to get in trouble. Or maybe I'm just an employee. So why am I gonna, But the truth is, you should pass that information on. If someone calls, hey, I'm from the IRS, it should literally be, hey, yeah, you probably need to talk to our accountant or our comptroller. I am not allowed to give you any information. Have no idea how many businesses get phished. That's the other thing. You get sent
Yes.
these emails. Oh my gosh. You get these sent these emails, and there's one little link in it that says, in order to proceed and not get charged with all this, please click here. And the next thing you know, they're telling you you can't get your website because we have locked it down and you need to send us $2,500 in Bitcoin in order for us to release it. And then there's a whole thing. Your SSL needs to be up to date so that people can't just hack into your website. But then on top of that, do not just go clicking. And the good thing is nowadays, most times when I reply, especially to the law firms I work with, when we reply to them or send them to, I will literally say, it said, this is an external email. Do not click anything if you're not sure who it's from, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But for the most part, man, people are just
Or
not paying enough
from
attention.
the banks. Your password has been changed. If you change your password or you didn't change your password, go and then you are clicking on the link from the email and you type in your password, your user, and you giving them all the information just like that on a silver platter. You have to be
Right.
very cautious not to do that.
Yes. That's what you're going to get in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
And by the way, this is one of the things that I'm typing it in so everybody can see it. Info at business. So this is one of the most popular ways that they spoof you and act like they're you versus you being yourself. They send you an email and it'll be businessname@gmail.com versus actually coming from the real business. Anything that says .gov or .gov.us, that's the official thing too. You cannot be looking at an email and it says .gov.cn.rus, all of this stuff.
Numbers and whatever. Yeah.
Russia. Yeah, it's coming from Russia, and they're trying to just get all your information. You have to be careful about it. And by the way, businesses, if you are sending out and using a Gmail, you're using a Yahoo, you're using a Hotmail or an AOL, I am sorry, you do need to get yourself. If you own a domain, if you own a website, you already own the domain and the ability to send email under your own regular name. I know there are people who are just joining. If you're just joining and I look like a crazy person, it is because I am
well, it had to come out one day, Ryan. It had to come out one day.
I'm scamming today. I'm just scamming. I'm gonna send you an email, and now you're gonna send me all your information. But that's literally
so much out there. It's scary. Why one human being is doing that to another one? There's another thing that I almost got scammed myself. I was selling a wedding dress and on a marketplace. And it's like, okay, I want to get this for my granddaughter or whatever. It's like, okay, well, why without seeing? Oh, the picture is sufficient. I'm a church going person and all that, and they just wanted you to send them a label from FedEx to create, and then okay, so you're serious about sending, great, I'm going to send you the money, but now you have to send me the money so I can upgrade to this and that, and I'm going to send you money back. And this is one big scam, and they get a few $100s out of you. It's just it's amazing. So from now on, whatever I wanted to send on a marketplace was like a low cost only. And on site you have to get, like, how can you buy a dress without trying it on and looking at it? And but that's the first thing. They're going for the items that it's just not possible to do whatever, to just to buy it and seen. I have a friend who lost $10,000 because she wanted to buy a car for her wife, and she lost. She thought it's going to be a lovely surprise. Meanwhile, she lost $10,000 because she believed someone online. It's scary. It's really scary. And yes, and people will hack into your Facebook, and they assess how wealthy you are, if you are renting or if you have a house, because from the pictures that you have posted, and they see where you are, and people post where they're working and for whom and all that, so everything is rolling from there. It's really scary. It's really scary. I should post that I'm working for FBI or something.
And again, like I said, well, to an extent, you kind of sort of do that, right? You do help people and prevent them from getting into that trouble. And what I'm saying to you guys is she's telling you, like, these are the legal people doing the legal things to actually just ascertain and do what we refer to as social engineering to then scam you. And there's a part of your brain that turns off after a certain number of conversations with Liam Neeson or Burt Reynolds or whoever else is reaching out to you. There's a certain part of your brain that turns off because of that. But there are also people who have hacked big websites, government websites, or healthcare websites, or your cable bill, or all these places that have extensive amount of information about you. And then once that information is hacked, it is sold on the web.
Exactly.
It's sold on the dark web. And now those people have way more information about you. You can go for months and not know that they have taken out a loan for a home in your name, that they have requested grants and stuff, because they have enough information about you to get illegitimate money. And now they've wrecked your credit completely, because they're not going to pay off that loan. They get $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. They're never going to come back.
Well, that's why you have to lock your credit.
Yeah.
Okay. Lock it. For a few bucks, for $20 a month, you can hire like LifeLock, or there are other institutions like that they are monitoring your credit, your bank accounts, and you can be insured up to $1 million or more. Yeah. So it's worth it. I think that's, instead having some subscription to something silly, that $20 a month will be the best investment. Might be that's I didn't want to brag, but Josh Groban and Matteo Bocelli sent me friend requests on Facebook. They want to be my friends.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't want to brag, but I have friends in the very high places, So just because someone, look, I know I'm blonde. So this certain assumption might come into somebody's mind, but just because someone saw that I like classical music, I will believe that people like that will reach out to me with the friend request. And I know their hearts were broken, but they will have to live with that.
I am your friend. And I was just going to the movie theater to watch a great movie.
Andrea Bocelli is blind, is he not?
Yes.
and I need $50 for the limousine. Can you send it to me? And I would like to take that on a, what do they, the scammers always asking for like Amex cards and the weirdest kinds of
transfers, or those quick
yeah,
transfers.
the
Yeah.
transfers. What is this card? There are these cards that they ask for all the time. It's like, why would Andrea Bocelli ask you for $50?
Why Brad Pitt would ask for some money? You know,
Because you were my real good friend, and when you come to
no,
California,
because I saw your picture and I fall in love and I can't stop thinking about you. That's what it is.
I can't
And
stop
Tyler
thinking.
Perry will leave everything, his beautiful, gorgeous wife and his son, and be with some middle-aged lady, you know. But yeah, Cinderella stories, I guess, you know.
It's Tyler Perry, and now that I no longer live in my car, I want to bring you to come here to Los Angeles and help you out. I want you to meet my friend Oprah and my.
Oh, absolutely. I'm already packed. Are you?
These people are wild,
I mean,
and
look, dreams do come true. I'm the living
yes,
example. Dreams do come true. I believe
yes,
in that 100%.
it
Prayers
is
are being
possible.
answered. Prayers are being answered. Absolutely. But use your head.
Yeah, sort of kind of say, okay, maybe that's not Andrea Bocelli asking me for money
And there was
because
not Andrea, there was Matteo, his son. So, you know.
and you know what? They know who they're choosing too. They know exactly who they're choosing because they're paying attention, right? Like you would never ask me for Andrea Bocelli, but if you were Jay Z and you're like, "Yo, this is Jay Z," and I'd love it if you came by and hung out with me and my wife Beyonce. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's The Rock. And I might actually.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. Yes, I know. Yes, I'm sure you'll be like, no problem. This is my card and I use it free. Where should I send it to you together with the
Yeah,
PIN
here's my card.
number? I send the picture to you. Both sides, yes.
Yeah, yeah. JD, since you're such my good friend, I'm gonna send you my date of birth, my mother's maiden name. This is the information I share with all my friends. What?
Once I
But yeah, ladies and
decided
gentlemen,
to have a little fun with a phone call like this,
Mhm.
and the guy goes like, "Okay, so I need your social." I said, "Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, if you're not gonna be serious about it," I said, "Well, are you?"
um,
So, you know, and he hung up on me because I wasn't serious
yeah,
about it. Like, you
yeah,
know,
that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah,
oh,
if you catch them and confront them, most of the time, ladies and gentlemen, most of the time, if you confront them in the very first couple of minutes, and this is sad, okay? This is a sad statement I'm making. You confront them in the very first couple of minutes, they will just hang up and go about their business because there are so many other numbers that they can call and actually get those people on the hook that they just it's a numbers game for them, so they're and going to the next person. So
yeah.
when somebody calls you, assume it is a scammer until they can prove whatever. I have had a bill collector, a real bill collector, call me for a bill and they kept on saying that they can't. It was a medical bill, okay, and I had changed doctors, and I guess this $100 bill, or it was less, it was like $80. um like fell through the crack, and this one was like, yeah, we need to get you need to confirm that you are who you say you are in order for us to. So what is your date of birth? And I was like, wait. You're calling me from the medical office, right? You don't have my date of birth. Like, they don't just give you information
Yeah.
on me. Yeah. And the woman was like, well, I can't give it to you. And as it turned out, like, I called the office, and it turns out that yes, it was the actual, but they had given the information to like a like a debt collector, and they hadn't passed on the information. But she, in order to go forward, she had to confirm that the information. This is a bad story to tell, because now everybody's going to think that it's possible this is a real person. But the truth is,
Listen,
you just need to say to the person, no.
you simply ask for the phone number, okay,
Yeah.
of whatever institution there is, or a phone number for the doctor that they're collecting. You call the doctor and you verify it. Simple as that. So it's better, make that one phone call. It's better than just to give out all the information and be on,
Yes.
on a losing side. That's just as simple as
I
that.
know we're trying to be nice. I know we're trying to be nice. I know we're trying to be compliant. Sometimes you will hear me say, if you're this, the theme that runs through this show. Sometimes you'll hear me say, you guys are a little, naive sometimes about what's happening in the world. But the truth is, there are people who are trying to steal from you. I know you're trying to be a good person and trying to keep it in your heart that, a person wouldn't do that to me. But unfortunately, there are a lot of people who are just like this, who are ready to rob you as soon as they possibly can. And they're like, hello, Mr. Williams. Can I am calling from the U.S. Customs. This is a real call that I got. I am calling from U.S. Customs. And can you verify who your name, sir? And I'm like, wait. You're calling me from U.S. Customs, and you don't know my name? How'd you get this number? Click. It's over. Simple as that. It was that
Talking
simple.
about customs, U.S. Postal Service has a package for you, but cannot be delivered because due to a mistake in the postal code. You track me with the phone number, but you cannot figure it out the postal code.
Yeah.
Okay, keep the package.
It's wild.
Keep the package.
How did you get my phone? It's crazy. Exactly. You know what? You keep that fentanyl or whatever it is you've got there. And don't even talk to me about it. Because that's the other thing. Sometimes I think, oh my gosh, maybe it's legit and they're trying to give me a package and then come and get it from somewhere else or whatever. Not. It's wild. I tell you about that scam. People, do not leave things on your porch for the porch pirates, because they're out there as well. And sometimes I'm like, how do they know? Well, that was the other thing. One guy was like, how do they know to come and take the box that had your phone in it, their brand new iPhone, and left the box with the dog food? How did they know that, even though it's in just a plain box? And somehow they know. They're scamming out here, people. They're connected. They're hooked into things. I want you to just imagine that with artificial intelligence, they no longer have to sleep. They can tell an agent, and when I want you to think about the Matrix, and an agent that can go out into the world and do multiple acts based on if this, then that. If I see his name, then I call his number. If he picks up the phone, then I try to get him to give me information. If he gives me the information, then I take that information, I put it in a spreadsheet, so now they can scam you. You have to be very careful and just start to think that, yes, that science fiction stuff that you watched in the 80s, I am sorry, this is what we're using it to do, as opposed to creating Terminators or flying cars. We're out here scamming. And so this has been a long one. It's like 45 minutes, but
we're having too much fun.
And TikTok. Listen, that TikTok thing, I think a lot of people are really up in arms about it, and they're really upset about it. And no judgment, either here or on nytaxresolutions.com. regardless of whether your issue is that you really wanted to stay on TikTok. I really want to stay on TikTok, or you have really bad taxes coming up, especially if they're business taxes. I want you to like and subscribe if you enjoyed chit-chatting with us today, or if you want to hear more about it. If you are actually like to know more different topics, you want to join the show this year, we're going to have many more guests on this year. We might have to have multiple shows, and I want you to send those requests at mailbag@lovedeathandtaxes.com. If you are in some sort of issues, you want to go to nytaxresolutions.com. It is tax time. I know Agnes is busy, but she might be able to squeeze you in and make it so that you don't go to jail this year. How about that?
Actually, IRS is coming out with a new program that they are advertising quite widely right now. Forgiveness of taxes. Well, they're just not going to forgive just because you have to apply it for it. You have to apply to reduce your taxes. So don't sit on it. Don't wait. Don't think that you didn't receive collection letter. They forget about you. They did not. And your outstanding taxes are not staying at zero or the same amount. Every day, your penalties and taxes and interest is growing. So do not wait.
Hey,
don't sit on it.
I need you to send me $10,000, and then we'll just forget all the other
Can we
money.
settle for 5?
No. How about 4? They're just happy to get your money. It doesn't matter. You need to be careful, especially if it's out. And I'm not saying that someone with an Indian accent or a foreign accent calls you on the phone and it's not legit. It could very well be legit. But if you start asking them back questions and they can't answer, who did you call? That's the biggest thing I get is, hey, your business is now on The Voice. Am I speaking to the business owner? And I'm like, which business are you calling? And they're like, and I'm like, okay, hang up on you. Because if you're calling me about a business, you should know what the business name is at minimum. How are you just going to call me? And no, it's all ridiculous. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. No. Pay attention. Just ask questions when they have. That's the easiest way. The Socratic method is just to ask some questions, and then you won't get scammed by Liam Neeson or
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. or Andrea Bocelli. Okay. And it's an interesting group of guys that they ask for, right? Those guys who are still like, they're older and senior, but they're seen as active and virile. You know what I mean? They're not choosing Tom Cruise, which is interesting to me. They're not choosing Tom Cruise, but Liam Neeson came on Howard Stern's show, the real Liam Neeson, and was like, you have no idea how many people are out there scamming people in my name over and over and over again. Do not. And he made a PSA. He was like, please, if I'm asking you for your phone number, your address, your date of birth,
give it to me.
Your mother's maiden name, please don't give it to me. It's crazy. It's just crazy.
Oh God.
Ladies and gents, that's the show for tonight. If please be careful and take care of yourself out there. Agnes, you want to give them the last word?
Ryan, I need $500 for my medical bills. So can you please send it to me via Zelle or something?
What what's your Cash App? Sorry.
I thought we were friends, but okay.
Exactly. I have heard conversation. And by the way, if you go to YouTube and you just search like scammers caught, there are people here in the United States who are targeting like phone banks of scammers. Like they're renting offices, and all they do is try to scam, and they're all teaching one another how to do it. It's like the wolf. It's like the Wolf of Wall Street, but it's all straight scamming. You have to see this. You got to check it out. Just Google it on YouTube, like scammers caught or scammers attacked by hackers or scammers hacked or something like that. And you'll see all these American hackers who have turned on them are trying to expose them and destroy them because they're really good at it. They make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on this scamming to the point where their families live off of it. And just be careful, people, especially in tax time. All right.
Are you thinking about changing careers? You already have a gear.
Hello. 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 It doesn't work without the hat. You gotta have the hat.
All right.
All right. You guys have a good evening. Have a great weekend. Whenever you're listening to this, you know you can get it on YouTube. You can get it on Alexa. You can get this anywhere you listen to podcasts. It's on Apple. It's on what's the big one that Joe Rogan is on? Yeah, Spotify. Those are the big ones, and we're there too. Oh, Alexa says, I don't know that one. But yeah, we are on it. We are on all of the streaming platforms. So if you want to hear this show there and enjoy yourself for 51 minutes, 52 minutes and 53 seconds, you do that. I'll see you guys next week.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.